Everybody had it.
I'm really sorry. I don't like it like that.
You are for which party, Ms. Kwamboka?
No, it's not. I am for the defendant in the matter.
Yes.
Otwangi and company advocacy is on record for the thank you.
Anybody holding brief or Mr. Ochwangi himself?
I know he does not seem to be on the platform.
Yes. Has the boundary been ascertained?
My lord, that is what we are, that's the purpose of the election today. We have confirmed the surveyor's report is given.
Has
Received any and
neither have I. Do you have any of the surveyors from the county government of Nyamira in court? Mr. Nyambane, you know them. Check whether they are around. Okay. So what do we do in the absence? We give them another day.
yeah, my lord, we can give another day.
Is there a peace? Is there a peace on the ground? Before I give a date, is there a peace on the ground?
Yes, my lord, there is peace on the ground.
There is peace on the ground.
Yes.
So then we can give it the first week of next term, which starts on second. Is it second? Okay. Can we go to 10th? Is 10th of April okay?
10th of April. And what is one earlier date?
Let's give the surveyor enough time because we only have next week and next week but one will be vacation. Actually, mid next week will be vacation.
Okay, my lord, we can have the 10th of April.
Okay, 10th of April. And you serve this a copy of the mention notice to the surveyor.
Okay, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
With your candidates, my lord, can you mention ELC number 8? ELC number 8 of 2023.
You know, Mr. Jeremiah,
Yes, my lord.
your governor is in court to see who comes to court late and who comes to court unprepared. Yes, Mr. Soire, you are for which party?
About the appellant in that matter, my lord.
Yes. And who is for the respondent?
Unfortunately, we have not been able to confirm my record of
Who is the respondent? Who is for the respondent, Mr. Soire? Nani? Hebu tuangalie kama yuko kotini. Ukisikia kesi yako inatajwa Mary Nyangoto. Ukisikia kesi yako inatajwa unaitika ili tusipeane orders ambazo zitakudhuru na ulikuwa kotini. Mary Nyangoto? Okay. How much time do you require, Mr. Soire? Have you got all the papers from the court?
Confirm my record of people the file, the river conspiracy is except ever tried in some ruling it is supposed to be delivered on 26. So can we make this matter in April? I think by that time I will be able to confirm my record of this.
So he's holding the brief, the file because there is a ruling pending.
Yes, the file is can't get the judgment before the demand. The rulings on due on 26th of March, and we are making the matter in April. I think I will have compiled my record.
Okay. Mention of the matter on 11th of April 2024. That's all?
That's all, my lord.
Thank you.
Hey.
ELC miscellaneous is retroactive in top boys, Brian Ichake versus Gabriel Nyamira, Senior Mokua Land Registrar Nyamira, Honorable Attorney General. My Lord, does that matter?
Yes, Miss Maite.
I'm voting for
the okay. And this for the respondent? Miss Osebe. Yes, Mr. Ayenda.
The first and second respondents.
And Miss Osebe, you are appearing for the AG?
Yes,
for the fourth, third, and fourth respondents.
In that matter, the first and second respondents,
yes,
have not been able to file the reply of David. That is the notification due to the details that we are waiting on the e-filing.
to file your...
We do not file our reply of David Manon for the first and second respondents.
Yes.
But due to the reason we have cited,
yes,
we are currently trying for leave to file because it is ready.
So the same is ready.
Yes, Madam.
We seek for leave to file the same. Within how much time?
Within 3 days, Madam.
So the rest of you agreeable, Ms. Osebe and Ms. Moeche? Okay. Ms. Osebe, how much time do you require? Why 14? Yes. And you've gone through it.
Yes.
It's an application for injunction, isn't it? It's for stay.
Yeah, he wants to stay the proceedings and have compile them fresh.
Okay. So you require 14 days.
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Moeche, any problem with this?
I don't believe there's any problem. No objection. No, my instructions are that he has already served the parties. There's an affidavit of service.
So all the parties have been served.
Yes. So he believes that the application will be allowed.
No, I'd given you some temporary relief because I said in the meantime, all proceedings and or hearing in Nyamira CMCC LC number 44 of 2022 are hereby stayed until further orders of this court. So because the application, your application is for stay of proceedings, correct?
Yes.
And we have already stayed them temporarily. So there is no harm that is likely to, because I've even said until further orders of this court. So unless I reverse these orders, the orders still subsist. Both I give you 10 days each. What is the date of the application? 26th of February. Give me a date for the same, Brenda. Which date?
17th of April.
17th of April. Is it agreeable to all of you? Convenient to you? Okay, 17th of April, 2024. Interim orders. And this is in open court, okay? I don't want anybody to come and tell me his gadgets were not working. So in the meantime, interim orders extended until further orders of the court. Is that all, Brenda? Apart from this matter. Call it out.
ELC petition is number 1 of 2023. Nyamira versus National Land Commission, the County Government of Nyamira, and 4 others.
Yes, Miss Bundi.
Yes, my name is Bundi.
Yes, for the
I appeal with my name,
Mr. Maeche and Miss Bundi for the petition. Yes. Now let's go, Mr. Bosota. Is it Bosota? Did I get it right?
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
We are fine.
Yes.
I'm happy that you're okay.
Thank you, thank you. I'm also happy to see you.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that you told your boss to make sure that he comes to court.
Yes, he's available.
Yes.
And this proceedings will be led by.
Oh, Mr. Oginga. Yes, yes. Mr. Oginga.
My name is Chen Oginga.
Yes. You have written a book on constitutional law.
Yes.
But it's not available in the bookshops. Where is it? Do you have a copy? Do you have a copy? You should be working with copies. Because I looked for it in Prestige Bookshop, I could not get it. I checked for it in a bookstop in Yaya Center, I could not get it. That's a copy.
Yes.
Yes, the organized one, I even pay you in advance. So, Mr. Oginga, you are for the...
I have a team of my colleagues
Yes.
who appear together.
Yes.
Firstly, I'm with Mr. Musota.
Mr.
Musota.
Osota.
Then there is Miss Betty Kwamboka.
Miss Betty Kwamboka.
Yes. Then there is Mr. George Morara.
Mr. George Morara.
Then there is Mr. Tom Ongori.
Mr. Tom
Ongori.
Ongori.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And also Mr. Sonye Ondari.
And Mr. Sonia
Ondari.
Sonia Ondari. Ondari.
Yes.
Yes.
We do appear for the fourth respondent.
For the fourth respondent.
That is the county government of Kisii.
Yes.
And the first and second defendants.
For the fourth respondent.
Yes. The
first and
second defendants. That is.
No, this can only be respondents because this was by way of a constitutional petition.
Now, that is how they have been named in the application.
Or in the application.
Yes.
First and second
defendants, that is His Excellency the Governor, Simba Arati, that is the first defendant.
Yes.
And the second defendant, that is the head.
Okay, I'll just put them as they are.
Yes. And I do confirm they're also present.
Yes.
For the court.
Okay.
That's all on the team.
Who else in the matter?
My Lord, I'm present.
Yes, Mr. Anyoka, you are for?
And for the third respondent.
For the third respondent. Yes, Mr. Bonuka, you are for?
My Lord, I'm for the 5th and the 6th interested parties.
For the 5th
And 6th
and
interested
6th
parties.
interested parties. Who else?
Yes, my Lord, I'm waiting for the 5th respondent.
Mr. Angweni
For the 5th respondent.
for the
Because
5th
government of Nyamira.
respondent. That is the county government of Nyamira.
I'm appearing alongside my senior Mr. Nyambane.
Alongside Mr. Nyambane. Anybody else? Ms. Osebe for the second respondent. That's the Attorney General. Anybody else? Anybody else in the matter? What about National Land Commission? Who is appearing for the National Land Commission? The Honorable Attorney General, Ms. Osebe. Then the IBC, Mr. Anyoka. County Government of Kisii, they are hosts of Advocates Council, led by Mr. Oginga. Then County Government of Nyamira, we have Mr. Nyambane and Mr. Angoli, yes. Ministry of Lands and Physical, you are appearing for them, Ms. Sebe. And Francis Damburi Oyaro and Charles Osoro Kiboi. Mr. Bonuko, you are appearing for those ones. Okay. Now, why are we in court? I thought we finished this matter. I thought we finalized the matter.
Yes, good morning, Your Lordship.
Morning once again, Mr. Maeche.
Yes. The petitioner in this matter
Yes.
did make an application to this court.
Yes. I've seen the application.
Yes.
And the application is for leave to institute contempt proceedings. Correct?
We did not ask for leave.
Yes.
But we have just put in application for contempt proceedings against His Excellency the Governor,
Yes.
Paul Arati for Kisii County,
Yes.
and the Acting County Secretary, Mr. Robert Umbasa.
Where is the substantive county secretary? The county secretary who used to be here is the one now in Kisii.
I think he is no longer no longer the county secretary of
There is
Kisii County.
okay.
I think that is why they appointed an acting secretary.
Sawa. Where is the acting county secretary? You are here. Mr. Bonuka, maybe you can give room for the two to just come over. Yes.
I don't know if I could address you.
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to confirm you was up yesterday
Yes.
at 5:23 a.m.
AM.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yes,
No, that was via
By
WhatsApp.
email.
By email.
Yes. So that we really tried our best to put in a holding response,
Yes.
which we are still in the process of formally filing,
Yes.
and even serving all the other parties,
Yes.
so that in the circumstances, my prayer for today, since we are coming for directions,
Yes.
I will be praying that we be given 14 days.
So your application is dated, Mr. Maeche?
Yes, the application is dated 3rd March 2024, Your Lordship.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can just have a seat, Mr. Oginga. First of all, I want to thank all of you, all the parties in this case, including Your Excellency, because this matter, this petition, when this constitutional petition was brought to court, you all agree with me there were ugly scenes at Keroka. And Mr. Bosota is on record as having told the court when all of you are putting in, when you are highlighting the written submissions, that ever since the matter was brought to court, there has been peace at Keroka. Am I right, Mr. Bosota?
Yes, sir.
That those people who are fighting there downed their stones and every other tool to give peace a chance. I'm also glad that Your Excellency, Honorable Simba Arati, the governor for Kisii, you found time to come to court in response to the court orders, meaning that you are ready to abide by the orders of the court and that you respect the court as a citizen of Kenya. And that's what is expected of all of us, and particularly for those of us who are state officers. And that's commendable of you. When I was delivering the judgment, your advocates told me that you are not available. Your counterpart here attended court that day. An apology was given on your behalf. And as a sign of good gesture and the fact that the two counties are ready to work together and ensure that there is service delivery to the Abagusi community that occupies the two counties. After this, can we make a courtesy call to His Excellency, the Governor of Nyamira? I hope he's available, Mr. Nyambane. If he's not in office, get him from wherever he is. Let the two of them have a cup of tea. Hostility in this region will not help anybody. At all, at all, at all. If I had powers, unfortunately, and thank God that I don't have it, I would merge the two counties, so that we do not have a boundary dispute at all. But would you be happy if I merge the two counties, Your Excellency? Unfortunately for you, I do not have the powers. Secondly, I also need to tell you, no amount of votes is equal to the life of one Kisii or any other community at Keroka. If anything were to happen and the two counties are on fire, Your Excellency and myself and the likes of Mr. Morara and Mr. Maeche, Ms. Bundi, Mr. Uginga, we can all afford a chopper out of this place, correct? But the businessmen at Keroka will either die fighting there or die running away. These are the people we are supposed to serve. And when I was stationed here by Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice of Kenya, I had taken oath to make sure that the Constitution of Kenya is preserved, protected, and implemented. Your Excellency, you took a similar oath. Your advocates also took a similar oath. And now we've got to allow the people of Keroka to do business uninterruptedly. And in the judgment, I allowed you, gentlemen, the two of you, with your able counsel and officers, to look at the service agreement, service delivery agreement that had been done. Was it, Mr. Banuke, in which year? 2013 or 2015? 2014. To see whether it's still workable, so so that you can provide the services to the two sides of Keroka jointly, because that's allowed in law. The only thing that is not allowed, fortunately or unfortunately, is joint collection of revenue. The people from Kisii side of Keroka cannot collect revenue on the Nyamira side, and vice versa. So each one has got to limit himself to his lane. Your Excellency, I have no problem with you providing umbrellas with your portrait and your party logo. I wish you could also extend that to other counties like Muranga, Nyaribo, and the rest. But you have a right to do so. That if they would cause some breach of peace, if they could cause some breach of peace, we can temporarily shelf the idea. They are good because those people did not have umbrellas. Those traders did not have those big umbrellas to put their wares under. And they did a good thing. And I want the traders there not to see the umbrellas as a sign of incitement. Just use the umbrellas. Don't even look at the portrait that is there. He's a handsome man, but forget about it. Am I right, Miss Bundi and Miss Moeche? This man is, and he's smart. So if it were to cause any breach of peace, we could suspend that for the time being, or just provide umbrellas that do not have logos and portraits. That's one thing we need to do. Then when it comes to the collection of revenue, let's allow the officers from each side stick to their lanes, because there is also accountability. If we allow anybody to collect revenue from anywhere, the problem the two governors are going to face is that that money may not even reach you. And I want to believe that before this matter came before me, the people who are collecting revenue were not genuine, and they were not remitting this revenue to you people. So that's the confusion we can have. And then, because people will say, okay, we collected from only this side, so this is what we are remitting, a portion of it. The other problem is this. Some people will say, we paid to the other county, so we are not paying again. And those people have not paid. They have not paid, but they want to pretend that they are paid to the officers from the other county. So I don't intend even to punish anybody for contempt. I would want to apply grace and forgive those people who have defied the orders. And the other thing I want to tell you, how many traders are here from Keroka? How many traders are in court? Okay. How many revenue collectors are in court? You see, yes, you are one of the revenue collectors. Your name is? Bonukechas. From which county? From Kisii. You are the revenue officer. Can you just come forward and tell us what has been happening? And tell us whether you have really been getting the money that is being collected from the ground. Because if the problem escalates, I can even ask yes.
With your kind permission.
Yes.
Perhaps since you are coming for the elections, and you to finish.
Yes.
Because you're dealing with a contempt application.
Yes.
And the gravity of the orders and that.
Yes.
So that and in light of the burdens and the right of the trial, yes, my suggestion would be my lord, because now the issues my lord is raising, these are factual issues that are in the very heart of the application.
Correct, I agree with you.
Issues we wish to really respond to.
Yes.
My lord, if given an opportunity, and that we were just served yesterday, and I also need to sit down with my clans so that we can get a way forward for this, my lord. Okay. So that in the circumstances...
Yes, I've heard you.
Pray,
yes, I've heard you. I'll just have a seat, yes. Mr. Oginga. I've heard you. Just have a seat. I've said, we are coming to defend a contempt application, okay? And I've just addressed you people and told you, my interest would not even to pursue the contempt proceedings. My main interest would be to have the traders at Keroka earn their daily bread peacefully. Because at the end of the day, I'll either lock in or fine the two contemptors, for lack of a better word. But how will it help the people of Keroka if I were to either find them or jail them? I want to do justice that will help everybody, and particularly the people of Keroka who moved this court and told me that they are not able to do business because they are having conflict between where do we pay our revenue to, where do we get our services to. I've already said that the issue of service delivery has been resolved by the service agreement, which I would not want to interfere with. And if the people of the two counties, or any of them, or even a single resident of any of the two counties, feels that that service agreement of 2014 does not serve them, he can go to the intergovernment relations and have the matter mediated there. But in the meantime, you see, you and me, His Excellency is getting a salary at the end of the month, I'm getting a salary at the end of the month. Mr. Oginga, you are getting some money, some fee from the litigants you represent here. Even when Keroka is on fire. But when Keroka is on fire, there is a Mama Mboga who will not be able in the evening to take anything to her children. What does she do? There is a man there whose work is to shine shoes, who will not be able to take his children to school. And this is one thing that we need to sort out, even as we think of the contempt proceedings. Because supposing this contempt proceeding takes another 1 month before it is finalized, what happens to the people of Keroka? They will continue suffering. So we want to get a solution today and then give directions for the contempt application. Is that agreeable to you, Mr. Oginga? I don't want to go to the merits of whatever is happening. And that's what I'm asking the revenue. Just come forward, the revenue officer from Kisi. What is happening there?
Thank you.
Please speak up.
I'm saying thank you, my honor, for giving me the opportunity.
Yes.
But I'm right that I may not be able to speak when my boss is out.
No, speak, I'm protecting you. I'm protecting. He's a good man.
But the councils are here.
Yes.
So I don't want...
So you want him to speak for himself. Mr. Marara, can you tell your client to tell us what is happening? So Marara, tulikubaliana sisi ni wazee. Siwe ni mzee. Na mimi ni mzee. Na gavana ni mzee. Am I going with the wrong way? Or because we need to get a solution for the time being.
In the first place,
yes,
as a council for
His Excellency
the Governor,
yes,
and the acting county secretary,
yes,
from decided decisions,
yes,
and the law,
yes,
this court is functioned as official after the delivery of the judgment.
Yes.
As we stand before this court,
yes,
jurisdiction is everything, which are well guided by the law and decided cases. That, my Lord, with due respect, you don't have jurisdiction.
Now, what application is before the court?
The application before the court is a contempt.
Is a contempt. Do I have jurisdiction over that?
You don't have jurisdiction by the fact that these are two parties who are staked into pleadings who are not initially in the pleadings.
Agreed.
Governor Simba Paul Arati and Umbasa, who are not in the initial pleadings while you chased me out of the matter with my client,
Mr. Marara, let's not do this. Let's not do this matter with some bit of.
My Lord, I'm praying for directions.
Yes, and those are the directions I want to. Forget about what happened in the past, because let me not say much, because I was also wounded in a way as the proceedings were taking place. But I want us to do this. Mr. Marara, you are a resident of Kisii.
I am.
Correct? You are a resident of Kisii. Are you happy when you go home at that 2 p.m., you see people at Keroka, your cousins, your sisters and brothers, your mothers, your aunties, pelting one another with stones? Are you happy?
I'm not happy.
You are not happy. Now, if this court can, first of all, deal with that issue, would you be happy?
I could be happy, my Lord.
No. Let's go slowly. You would be happy. Whether at the end of the day, I will say I have jurisdiction or I have no jurisdiction. You will not be happy if the people of Keroka are doing business at peace. So let's sort out that issue first before we give directions on this.
My Lord, can give I can be around.
Yes.
To take and give my opinion. My Lord, what I can say is that you have indicated very clearly that you don't want to deal with the content of proceedings as of now.
At the moment, yes.
And you have indicated clearly that you want His Excellency of Nyamira and His Excellency of Kisii to have a cap somewhere.
Correct.
I think, my Lord, to that extent, I think it is good that you give direction on the application.
Yes.
To the extent that let's have some more days in that they talk, they come to you and they give you what they feel about the agreement which was there early enough, whether they will continue adopting the same. Bringing up these other issues, my Lord, it might ignite again some emotions which were not there from the first start. I will kindly urge you, we can go the direction that let's give the governor some time in that they look at it. Because if we start having the application, there are some irregularities which we don't want to point out all words.
At the moment, to make the application.
Let's just leave it for another day. Yes. But as of now, kindly, your direction has been
I'm giving the direction. I'm giving the direction, sir. But Mr. Is it Angoni? You are Mr. Angoni? Mr. Ondai.
Save that I've not appeared before you for some time.
It's okay.
But I know I'm the first one who appeared before you when you came to this station.
Thank you.
Your Lord,
yes, Mr. Knight.
I'm also standing here guided by the directions of the court.
Yes.
And Sir conferred with the petitioner. He is also agreeing that he is ready to support the two governors to have a cup of tea so that we resolve the issue of Keroka. Secondly, Your Lordship, it is good that you have kept emphasizing and I implore this court to emphasize that we have the service agreement and we have the issue of revenue collection.
Yes.
And Your Lordship, as you are going to give directions, kindly, maybe I've seen conflicting information, especially there is an application which is not before this court, but I don't want to go into it, that the judgment from this court gave, and I think even from the response of the preliminary objection from Kisii County mentions that there is some ambiguity in the judgment that you issued, concerning the issue of service delivery and concerning the issue of revenue collection. And I am urging this court, your lordship, to make it clear that there was a boundary that was ascertained.
I think I wish to cut my claims.
Yes, Mr. Boniko.
Because it's speaking into the application.
Yes, let's not get into other application. I think for the time being, I'll take the wisdom of Mr. Oron Morara and Mr. Mr. Undari. And Your Excellency, before I give directions on this, I can't force you on anything, but is it possible for you to sit down with your counterpart and see how you could restore sanity back at Keroka? It's possible. You see now you're in Nyamira and nobody has touched you. I'm sure that your colleague here stays in Kisi.
All these people.
Yes. Because Mr. Morara, don't get offended with me going into some of these things. Because at the end of the day, we are interested in sanity at Keroka. Okay? And that's why I told you, let's now look at the matter as Kenyan citizens. And see, you know, those of us, many people in Nyamira, when they are going to Kisi, they say they are going to town. And Mr. Your Excellency, you agree with me. The brains that are in Nyamira County, we have some of the greatest brains in this country, from this county. I don't want to, the immediate former Chief Justice comes from this county. Judge Bosire comes from this country. Judge Onyan Chaya comes from. The Bonongas all come from this. And several other people come from this place. Kisi the same. And I said when I was delivering this judgment, and I repeat it, that the Abagusi community is a very united community. Very, very united. And maybe this is one of the few instances where they have fought one another. They shouldn't. They shouldn't fight. So, as I give directions, Your Excellency, I want you to sit down with your colleague and get even some small team of experts from your counties. Sit down. Go and address the people at Keroka jointly and tell them, fanyeni biashara vile mmekuwa mkifanya, na kila mtu, you allow everybody to collect revenue where they are supposed to collect. Should anybody appeal and succeed on appeal against the judgment I gave, fine, the situation may change. But we are there, the experts came and mapped the boundaries. And Mr. Oginga asked for a stay of execution of those orders. I told him, if I stay those orders, then it will mean that nobody knows where the boundary is. So let's have them. Even if my orders will be upset by the Court of Appeal, for the time being, let's observe those boundaries and we allow our people to do business in peace. Because at the end of the day, if we do not allow them to do business and take bread at home, then they'll come to you begging, which is not, in our Kisi customs, that's not something that we hate. It's not something that is commendable. We tell people, go and work hard. If you don't work, you don't eat. So can we agree on that? And then I give direction. In fact, Mr. Morara, to be very honest, if this thing works, we do not even need to hear the application or the preliminary objections. Because at the end of the day, what you and me want is when we watch our TVs in the evening, we do not see any ugly scene at Keroka. I don't want phone calls. Oh, you are the judge of Nyamira, what is this that is happening at Keroka? You also get calls of that nature from all people from all walks of life. We want Nyamira and Kisi to be leading example where people can do business quietly, peacefully. Revenue can be collected without any stone throwing. I don't know why you people adopted this idea of stone throwing. It is not in the PC culture. So I'll not say no. So can we agree that you file your papers, all of you file your papers, but in the meantime, yes, you can have a seat, Your Excellency. In the meantime, the two governors will sit and agree. If there not anything to agree because the judgment is there, just tell your people to adhere to the judgment, because once a judgment has been made, it takes force immediately, unless and until it has been overturned by a higher court. So for the time being, the judgment I give is the status quo. Let's observe it. Let's observe it. And at the end of the day, we shall get the blessings of these people and we shall get their votes. That I can assure you. Is that agreeable to our council?
Yes, yes, my lord.
Thank you.
We are going to talk.
How much time do you require, Mr. Your Excellency, to meet your colleague? Of course, after this, utaenda uangalie upige hodi kule kwake.
Your Lordship, if it's possible, you have met him today in this office after me, but again, we give ourselves 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm sure that we can be able to.
You go and agree on a date you can meet.
Yes.
I know most of you visit Nairobi almost every day. You have homes there on Nakuru. I would propose that you meet outside this place so that your followers don't follow you and start hailing you and heckling the other. You need, like these eminent kisses we met in Nairobi. Was it at Nairobi Club in 2014 and came up with a solution. Learn now to work together. And you know, as a leader, at times you may even have to disregard what your people are telling you for the sake of a better solution to the whole issue. So I'd rather you meet in a neutral place where even the Moraras are not even aware. The Moraras and the Dinkas are not aware.
So it's me who's really hard.
Is it?
Yes,
and when the stones are being thrown at each other, you suffer more.
I suffer more.
Yes. So you'll be happy when the two meet and agree. Yes. Even without technicalities. Yes. So you need 2-3 weeks. But today utaenda huko kwa gavana. Na naomba mashabiki wetu tafadhali, our voters, tusiwafuate. Hao ni waheshimiwa, because unaona wafuasi wa mheshimiwa Arati wakionekana pale wanaenda hivi wanaimba nyimbo ama hata kama hata kuonekana huko, nao wale watafikiria ni vita. So tukae tu wengine mbali, acha mkubwa aende aone mkubwa mwenzake, wakunywe chai.
Maybe Your Honor,
yes,
just on the same as continue guiding us. Just one request.
Yes.
That whatever the orders that the court will give and giving us time,
yes,
the judgment,
yes,
that the police enforce that
yes,
as the two governors meet, and the police enforce the order and the court is Your Honor.
Yes.
In the last Sunday when they have finished in the town, when actually police officers from the neighboring police stations,
yes,
they almost shot at each other.
Yes.
So there's also that confusion.
Police officers?
Yes.
accidentally or
intentionally.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, Your Honor.
Yes.
But maybe if you give us guidance, maybe you can either direct either the police commander for Nyamira or the police commander for Kisi to enforce the orders as they are in the judgment. Your Honor.
That's even more serious. But no, Mr. Oginga. Let's not. We are not going to the application.
Yes.
But let me ask you something, Mr. Oginga.
Yes, my lord.
If you don't address that issue, and the two commanders go shoot one another after shooting everybody else.
Your Lordship.
Have you read a book called Falme Deporte?
Yes,
that if you kill your followers,
yes,
then whom shall you be leading? So, what are yes, Mr. Oginga?
Yes, my lord, permit me to say this. Now, what the petitioner is simply saying is saying verbatim while standing here, these are factual issues, my lord, so that whatever is alluding to, those are within the purview of the criminal justice system and all that. So that my fear is, my lord, even as you give directions, that there is one prayer they are seeking for enforcement. That is in the application. It is a substantive application, which are issues we need to also respond to. So that my clans will be greatly prejudiced if the court is to give directions and at the same time the petitioner moves well on the feet. Because now this is new information they're raising. So we are being subjected to trial by ambushment.
Okay, on that,
so
yes, you know the stone throwers. The stone throwers will be coming from both sides. Okay, so even when we are talking about some people who are not following the court orders, we are not saying they are either from Nyamira or from Kisi. But I also had that in mind, that we need the two commanders, police county commanders, to sit down and see how to enforce these orders and to ensure that there is no fighting at Keroka. Because what I want us to do now is to get the status quo on the ground maintained.
Can I say something, Your Lordship?
Yes, Mr. Bosoto.
I really want to address the court, but
no, I'm going against the issue of procedure so that we can get a solution.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Yes.
And you being the arbiter,
yes,
the neutral person, Your Lordship, I want to honorably request that you should not get information from one side.
No.
I believe that information, Your Lordship, to be the gospel truth on the ground. Such an allegation by the petitioner that there was almost an exchange of fire, that is a very serious allegation, which, Your Lordship, you cannot just take it from the bar and make a decision on it.
You realize I did not even
yes, we
realize I did not record it.
But at the same time, Your Lordship, we know very well that when we are giving you tidbits on the information from the ground, we are trying to tilt your mind to make some kind of decision towards one part. I will request Your Lordship that there was Mr. Ondari, he's a senior advocate. Yes, he's here. He's a respected advocate. He gave us a neutral position that let's try and do an ADR on the issue of the decisions you made in Keroka. I will have requested that the court, you just leave it there. I can also stand and say there were people, even on the issue of umbrellas, Your Lordship. You know, the court addressed it, but we didn't want to say something about it.
No, did you hear what I said?
Yes, but Your Lordship, I didn't want to say that it may have been picked from some other place, because it's an issue they are complaining about in this application.
Yes.
But you know, umbrellas and the same thing you said, even the His Excellency can even give the people Muranga. We don't want to complain about it. But these are issues we want to address, so that
even that would influence my my mind on the application.
Yes, we don't want Your Lordship to just get that position that maybe you are getting information from the petitioner or from some other place. Kindly, let's follow that procedure where you were heading. That let the two excellencies meet and come up with some kind of ADR. These are the same people in Nyamira, in Keroka right away. I am very sure, and I can tell you, there is calm given that there's a status quo of some sorts, which is still on the ground.
At the moment?
Yes, and it was done by both commanders of Kisii and Nyamira. There's some kind of sort of calm and things are working, Your Lordship. Let's maintain there. Let's not poison your mind so that you can now just try to make and call other parties. At the end of the day, we will not reach a solution. Thank you, Your Lordship.
Thank you, Mr. Basota. How much time, Your Excellency, you are telling us how much time you need? 2-3 weeks?
Yes, Your Lordship, we 21 days.
21 days. So order has been restored. So they'll be meeting for purposes of maintaining, not restoring.
Yes.
You can have a seat, Your Excellency.
Let's see which order is it.
Your Excellency, I hope you did not take offense when I talked about the umbrellas.
Your Lordship, when I was coming,
Yes.
I've seen umbrellas here in town.
Yes.
In Nyamira town.
Yes.
People, again, the people of Nyamira, Kisii, are one people.
Correct.
Always
Your umbrellas.
Umbrellas.
Your umbrellas.
I've seen them.
Yes.
The
Yes.
These are the one people.
I've always thought so. Mr. Murada, did you take offense when I talked about the issue of umbrellas?
I don't take offense.
You did not. Yes, you remember I said that rightly that even if His Excellency supplies the umbrellas to the people of Muranga or Nakuru or wherever, it does no harm, and nobody should take that to be incitement. So, Mr. Basota,
I was not. I was just trying to remind the court that information is from the other side.
From wherever. And you see what His Excellency is saying.
Yes,
that he saw some of those umbrellas here
yeah, it's quite loved around, Your Lordship. So you can even find them, some of them outside the gate of the court.
Do you know what? Most of my staff here stay in Kisii and they work here.
Yes.
You get it? So even some of them could be having the umbrellas.
Even lessons, those lessons.
Even the lessons.
I am very sure. I am very sure they could be around.
Okay.
So they are not a political.
I could be the only one who's not a beneficiary. so I don't want that to be blown out of proportion, Mr. Murada, Mr. Bonuke. Yes, because I said to me it's not an issue. You see, even when it's brought here, it's not an issue to me. You can. Because you are helping those people to have a shade over their heads as they do business. So nobody should take it as if it's meant to go against the orders. And that's why I asked whether we have any traders from Keroka, because those traders at Keroka, you could even be getting wrong information. Ati tumetumwa na gavana wetu, na sisi tumetumwa na gavana wetu. Hapana. Unless muone gavana ako hapo anawaambia piganeni, chukueni mawe. Unless gavana mwenyewe amekuja hapo, mtu asiseme alitumwa na gavana. Hiyo isiwe hivyo, ati tumetumwa na gavana. Hapana. And that's why, anyway, let me not preempt the application. Let me not preempt the application. But that's it. Me, I'm talking to you, senior council. Sober up your people. Also, sit down with your leaders, agree. You see, you agree on the best way to help the people of Keroka. Keroka is a very, very pivotal trading center of the Abagusi community. Very, very important. So let's not have chaos there. And let's not have a situation where the national government will have to intervene. I told you that I had the powers. I would remove the boundary and merge the two counties. But some people lose their jobs. And that's not the best. I'm forced to say you are lucky as a community. You have two counties. Whereas there are some communities which do not have a county at all. So, to maintain that and to be grateful for that, let's remain united as we've always been. I love the Kisii people. And one of the things I love about them is their unity. And I do not want to get in the middle of you people. Itaachwa katika. Kwa kikwetu tunasema ukiwaingilia watu ambao wanapendana, itaachwa hapo katikati. Sitaki kuachwa hapo katikati. Nataka nikienda Kisii na kunywa chai bila kuogopa mtu yeyote. Nikiwa Nyamira naenda mahali na kunywa chai bila kuogopa mtu yeyote. And that's the way all of us should work. Akina Nyambano wanaishi Kisii na wanafanya kazi hapo. So this is my order. The court orders that the two governors of Kisii and Nyamira respectively meet within the next 21 days to discuss how to maintain, not to restore because the order is already there, to maintain order and rule of law at Keroka town. In the meantime, also, the two county commanders to also meet and agree on a formula to be applied to offer security to the traders at Keroka town. The respective revenue collectors to also continue collecting revenue on their respective jurisdiction. Is that agreeable to all of you? I can see the people of Nyamira nodding. Can I hear from the people of Kisii? No, I'm not allowing you to say. Mr. Morana, is that agreeable that the revenue collectors continue collecting revenue in their respective jurisdictions? Yes. And then the two commanders meet and agree on how to maintain. If they agree that they'll be sending their troops at 6, and then at around 10, when there is calm or everybody has settled, they go back. If that's what they will agree. If there will also be need for them to be patrolling around during the day, then let them do it. But what I know is that the people of the Abagusi community can work peacefully even without supervision. That bit I know. I've lived in Nyamira, in Kisii land, long enough to study and understand the Abagusi community. And I know they are very, very hard working. And when they mean to do something, they do it. Then the other thing is that the two governors meet within the next 21 days. Then the other thing is that the respondents who have not responded to the application dated 3rd March 2024 to do so within the next 21 days also, or 14?
I think that one will be sufficient.
That one will be sufficient.
21?
Yes.
Next 21 days. So next mention the matter
Should mention
to know whether they have reached any settlements.
Yes.
Then you can also then we see on how to proceed.
Exactly. So we take a mention date within the next after 21 days.
After 21 days.
Yes. I'm ready to Mr. Angoni. I'm ready even to take a whole day today over this matter. Because I told you, one life in Keroka or one business in Keroka is very, very important to all of us. Give me a date after 21 days.
30th of April.
Is that 10th of April agreeable to you, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, that's convenient.
It's convenient. 30th of April. We can't get an earlier date. Why don't we get it on? No. Yes, 9th or 10th.
Let's take the 10th of April.
We can try the following. I have a here.
Yes, 16th. 16th or 17th? 17th.
We are proposing 23rd.
23rd. I think there is something that we. There should be something.
When is the Easter vacation?
The Easter vacation is ending around 2nd April.
Let's take 23rd or 24th.
I think there is some conference on that week for our coach. That's why the week starting with 15th and ending on 19th.
So then
what about 18th? Can we try 18th?
18th I have a bench at the High Court.
17th?
Then also 17th I have a matter.
16th?
We can.
My Lord, we are constrained. We will get budget if you are there.
Which day?
30th.
30th. It's okay. Yeah, we can still that. And that all of you are agreeable to that. Mr. Nyambani, Ms. Gondi, Mr. Basota,
That is okay. That is okay.
Mr. Your Excellency, will you be available on that year?
Well, not if you allow, because it will be just a mission. And then we find that they have.
I want the two of them. I want the two of them around.
Yes.
Yes. When your people see you together, they see you taking tea or going to court and sitting together. That is one way of sending the peace message to them. Will you be available? Because I would want you and your colleague to just come to court. And I've explained that when the people see you together, at times people fight because they think their leaders are not together. And I would also want to ask the two of you that for the time being, we don't issue press statements against each other. Morala, is that wisdom?
Yes.
Because if if they spread the gospel of peace to their people, but they themselves are fighting in the press, people will not take them seriously. So for the time being and for the sake of Keroka, whatever we have to issue against one another, we suspend it so that the people see you as united.
My Lord, if you allow me.
Yes, please.
First, I have to thank you for the judgment that you gave.
Thank you.
It was blessed with wisdom that I believe will find itself in the annals of a local.
Wait a minute, is that coming from Mr. Marara?
It is, Your Honor.
Is that coming from Mr. Marara? Can I have my glasses? Thank you, Mr. Marara. I appreciate.
For one, at this view,
yes,
you choose to strike a middle ground for knowing the culture, the diversity of the community that you are passing a judgment against.
Thank you.
My Lord, my prayer is, His Excellency, the governor, my client, is a busy man. And as at times, I know or peep into his...
How many phones does he have?
His Excellency, I think, has about...
Only one.
Only one.
Do you know how many your advocate has? 5. Yes, Mr. Marara.
Yes, my Lord, as the governor is a busy man.
Yes. No, I can dispense with their attorney.
Yes,
I can dispense. But I must also, on the other hand, as I agree to that. I don't know how you had the impression, Mr. Marara, that I was not going to be fair. Why did you have that impression at the beginning? Now you are thanking me after.
Your Lordship,
yes.
as you pen off the directions,
yes.
I could like an interpretation on revenue collection officers restricting themselves on their...
Yes, and the restriction here now is the boundary that was shown by NLC and IEBC when we visited Keroka. That's the boundary we are going to maintain.
Your Honor, if I may,
yes.
If we go by that direction,
yes.
that one is going to conflict the entire judgment. Permit me to say that that is not what the service agreement is providing. Initially, I'm speaking.
Just a minute, Mr.
Initially, the service agreement had prescribed.
You know, there is service agreement,
yes,
and there are 3 issues here. Service agreement, which I said it's up to the parties, and then there is the boundary issue, which was marked by IBC and NLC, and all the surveyors from Survey of Kenya. And then there is the issue of revenue collection. So as for the revenue collection, because I don't want to go against my judgment, let's use the boundary features that were marked when we visited the place.
Your Honor, that one already conflicts the judgment.
Okay, what does the judgment say?
The judgment
talks about the 1992.
We have what you said, Your Lordship, is that the boundaries were already established as per the visit we made.
Yes.
But pursuant to the issue of revenue allocation or collections, we proceed as per the charter or the service agreement.
Is that what the agreement says?
Yes, madam.
Yes. Is that what the agreement says? Yes. Service collection, revenue collection.
Yes. The service agreement, then we go by what they are doing.
No. Is that what the judgment says? Yes. No, that's not what it says.
Your Lordship, we are going back to argue an application which we are saying.
Okay, let me put it this way, because we want to know the status quo.
There is a status quo, Your Lordship, I told you, which is now prevailing on the ground.
Yes.
And we have peace. Let that peace be there. If Mr. Maisha wants to argue his application, Your Lordship, you have given directions. We are going to open another.
I remember me saying we follow the 1992 Act, which defines the boundaries quite clear.
Your Lordship, that is what we are going to argue in this application.
The application.
We have said we are not going to argue the application. Let peace be where it is.
I've made my order.
As now.
Okay, I've made my order.
If you want to listen,
I've made my order.
to go anywhere.
that the respective revenue collectors will also continue collecting revenue on their respective jurisdictions. The respective jurisdiction is set by law, not by me, not by what is prevailing today. So we leave it at that. And if we mislead our respective clients on the interpretation of that, then we are the problem. We shall be the problem. So we leave it at that. Then so mention on that here. I hope we are not going to.
Your Lordship, for avoidance of doubt, and that is very important for peace to prevail in Karoka. For avoidance of doubt, what is the respective jurisdiction of which the revenue collection officers are going to stick to?
The one with the judgment.
Thank you.
The one with the judgment.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
The one with the judgment.
That is what I wanted.
So we mentioned the matter. We can dispense with the excellencies not attending. But Your Excellency, Mr. Nyamira, have you established whether your boss is in the office?
No, he's not.
He's not in the where is he? Is he within the region?
I was told he's not around.
He's not around.
Yes.
Okay.
I have communicated with His Excellency that information.
Yes.
I got the information.
Okay. And you have heard His Excellency is not averse to meeting his colleague.
Yes.
He's much more than agreeable. So if they don't meet, I'll bring your boss. True, Mr. Arati? If the two of you don't meet, it's not because of you. It will either be because Mr. Morara advised you otherwise, or because His Excellency Amos Nyaribo refused. But it's good. It's good that the people of the Abagusi community see you acting as one. Who knows? Tomorrow, after your term, you may be the governor of Nyamira, and Nyaribo is the governor of Kisi after his term. Because you people are cousins and brothers, and you find that you have relatives all over, and you have properties all over. Let me not disclose where they are.
Your Lordship, I'm the official spokesman of all.
Yes,
therefore, all Nyamira and the Kisi.
Yes.
And I have their interest at heart.
Good. I like that. Do I have the interest of the Abagusi at heart?
Yes.
I want His Excellency to answer. Not what you have been told by Mr. Morara. Do I have the interest of the Abagusi at heart?
You don't.
Okay. So, and then we also appreciate the fact that your colleague is older than you, so he has some wisdom also to tap from. Yes, and I want you people, even as you look at the service agreement, look for the lights, those who are still alive, who are the architects of that service agreement. You also have some people who have been leaders in this place, like Professor Ungeri, and it's a blessing to have such people still alive, to talk to them, to get counseling, and also to bring back, not to bring back because he's still there, to maintain the harmony of the Abagusi community. Thank you. Nataka kila mtu aende nyumbani kama amefurahi. Sawa sawa. Kama Ujinga amefurahi, na Morara of all people, then I think I'll have a very sound sleep tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We meet on the 30th of April.
Thank you, my lord.